Welcome back to my series on how to build a candle business. Today, I am going to recap where we are from week 1 to week 7. Today starts week 8 in our process. So we have learned a lot. We've grown a lot. We have made a lot of progress in launching a brand new candle business. We've also faced a few roadblocks that I want to talk about as well. So let's get into this. We are going to recap everything we've done. I'm going to share some insights and some tips with you. I will share some free downloads for you to go and grab to help you out on your journey as well. So whether you are a brand new to candle making or a candle business, or you have been on this journey for quite some time, I think today is actually going to hopefully give you some insights and some actionable steps for you to take right away. I'm Sebastian Garznet, the co-founder of Garznet Beacon Candle Company and the founder of Candle Business Pro, where we help makers go pro. And we are putting together this series thanks to a partnership with wthout. So wthout wax melters, I can't talk about them enough. They are fantastic. We use them in all 3 of our stores. We even have our tester one here for when we're making candles at home. We just love them. They actually provided us with a link for you to use if you would like. It is not an affiliate link. We are not getting a commission when you use this. This is just an additional discount for you, and you can find that in the show notes below. So let's get into this. So week 1, that is where we really started setting the foundation for this new candle business. Now, if you're just now starting on this journey with us, the name of our new brand is going to be called Without. It's missing the I, so it's Without, spelled wthout. Depending on when you are watching this, you may be able to go and check us out at wthoutbrand.com. That is where we'll be living out on the internet, as well as on all the social media channels. So depending on if you're watching this the week it comes out, or just a couple weeks after that, or possibly years in the future, or you may be listening to this on the podcast, you can go and check it out and see where we are today. We like to be very transparent and honest with our growth, with our struggles, with what's doing well right now. That's why we built the Inner Circle, which is our community of just candle maker businesses together. Whether you are thinking about starting a business or you are a 6-figure candle business, the Inner Circle is a place for you to connect with others. So you can obviously find out more about that out at candlebusinesspro.com or in the show notes below. All right, so week 1, we set the foundation. For you to be able to set the foundation, do a very, very simple exercise. Write 3 sentences of why. What's your why? Why are you wanting to make candles? Why are you wanting to turn this into a business? Are you wanting to do it to supplement your income? You're just wanting a little extra on the side. Are you wanting to go full time so that you can be a stay-at-home parent with your kids to have more family time? What's your why? And your why does not have to line up with anyone else's. So don't think about the reasons that I say I wanted to do it, or that the reason why Chad wanted to do it. In fact, we run this business together and our whys are completely different of why we got into this. He wanted this to be a creative outlet. I wanted this to be a business. I wanted us to become self-employed. And that's what we've done. So we are no longer working for another employer. We're self-employed. I hope to never wear suit pants again to an office to work. We'll see if that's the case, but right now we're on a pretty good trajectory to not have to do that. So the other thing you're going to want to do is list out your first 3 products that you're going to make. Are they going to be candles, room sprays, wax melts? What's your first 3 products going to be? And who is going to be that customer? Who are you going to be serving? That's going to be really critical, is deciding who we're serving. We'll talk about that here in just another step. So start with the foundation. What's your why? You want to make candles. This is the reason why you want to make them. And this is the person that you want to make them for. So that's a very simple foundation that you can start with. Pick a start date. Pick a start date that you want to start and really try to commit to it. You know, I see a lot of makers, they say that they've been making for 6 months, a year, 2 years, but they don't have that product out there that they're trying to sell. Now, if you're just doing this as a hobby, totally fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with making candles and leaning into that artistic side of doing this scent blending and really enjoying that. That's actually the passion of Chad's, of why he enjoys candle making. I like to sell candles. That's what my position within the brand is I want to sell our products. So think about what your start date's going to be and really try to commit to it. And if you're going to make this into a business, you need to keep some structure. You have to have structure of when you're going to start your testing, when you think you're going to get through all of that testing, and when can you realistically open up an online store. There's going to be other opportunities, of course, for you to sell. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. But just set that goal. what we did is we set a goal. We said, you know what, we're going to turn this into a business. And that was on November 19th of 2021. And we went and registered our name at the IRS. So we got our EIN number. We said, we are officially going to do this. All right, let's dive into it. That was on November 19th. And we set February 28th as our open a store day. So that gave us, December, all of January, all of February, and a week in November. So 3 months. And we said we want to have this entire business built, ready to go. Now, we had been testing a couple months prior to that. We were lost. So much of it when we're beginning is what wax to use, what oil to use, and then pivoting so much and then taking bad advice and following the wrong people on YouTube. And, we were mixing different waxes together because we were having issues. When in reality, what it comes down to is you need to focus on one thing at a time, one variable at a time. It's exactly what I teach in our candle making course. It's start with one wick, one vessel, one wax, one oil. Then we can start to get it, start to have some fun. Then we can start mixing 2 oils together. And then we can start doing wooden wick candles or 3 wick candles. Start with one wick, one wax, one vessel. Master that. You can start a business. Our business operates and is successful literally based on this candle that we have made well over 6 figures on, this one candle. Now we have 78 candles, I believe, that we sell online and in our shop, but the foundation came around this one candle. This is in a jar that costs about $1, just a clear 10-ounce Libby jar candle, one wick, one wax, a couple oils, because this one we do have a blend in now. But that's how we started our business. At first, we were trying to do too much. So on November 19th, 2021, we said, okay, let's document everything. Let's start taking notes on everything. Let's get a spreadsheet out. And that is when everything changed. And so we were testing one thing, and when it didn't work, it failed, we knew what to change. That's exactly what we teach in our course. If you've gone through that, you know that. And if you haven't, you're welcome to check that out as well at candlebusinesspro.com. All right. So we're setting the foundation. And then in week 2 of this series, we talked about our name and our brand basics. If you don't have a brand name yet, that's fine. Start with, let's brainstorm 20 names. So you can use ChatGPT or AI to help you if you want, but make sure that this is personal. I see a lot of names like Wild Wicks or Highly Scented or things that just aren't personal, right? But you also want to be careful not to go too personal. S and C candles probably isn't going to resonate with anyone. If I was going to use my initial and Chad's initials, S and C candles, or it could have been like CG candles, which would have been Chad Garsnett's candles, because he is the one that started this. So you can definitely get personal, but you want to make sure that it's not so personal that your customers aren't going to, I don't want to say not relate to it, but they're not going to understand. It almost seems like I don't want it to be too homemade, if that makes sense. I don't want to just have a Sebastian's candles and expect the world to relate to that. So something that I would think about as you're building that out. So pick, 20 names and then try to narrow that on down to 3 or so. Go out to the USPTO's website just to make sure that it's going to be available. You don't necessarily have to trademark it right away, but you want to go ahead and at least do a search to make sure it's going to be available. That's what we had a issue with our new brand. Our new brand without was already taken as far as that domain was taken. Now the brand itself wasn't. So check USPTO's website to see if the trademark has been taken, and then go to whatever domain purchasing site you're going to use. We love Squarespace. You can get it at GoDaddy.com. You can get it at Wix.com. You can get them anywhere. We use Squarespace for all of our websites to make sure what you're going to want is available. And if it's not available, are you going to be able to use something very similar that's going to be okay? You can certainly add on candles, take off candles, right? Our website is garsnettbeacon.com. If that would have, for some reason, have been taken, we could have done garsnettbeaconcandles.com, right? If we wanted to go that direction. So you want to make sure that it is available. Our new brand without.com, even though we're spelling it differently and uniquely without the I, that's not available. If someone else already owns it, it's some type of old blog. I'm going to try my best to buy it from them at some point, but right now it's not available. So our website is going to be withoutbrand.com. It fits for the vibe that we're going with, because we are going to be more of a lifestyle type of brand with this new endeavor. All right. So that was in week 2. Week 3 was all about your niche and your target audience. And this is super, super crucial. This is how you set yourself apart from others and how you grow a business and how you have what is going to become super fans. You only need 100 super fans, 100 people that love your product, that is going to buy all the candles that you come out with and is going to recommend you to other people. And at come Christmas time, they're going to be shopping with you. We have what we call super fans that have spent five, six, $7,000 with us, and we've been open for about 3 years. And so we have what we like internally. We have like VIP tiers of people that we always want to stay in contact with. We send them some bonus stuffs as surprises occasionally, and then we also check in with them when they haven't purchased with us in a few months. If 3 months have gone by and someone from our super fan list hasn't purchased from us, I'm going to send them a personal message. Hey, is everything okay? Is there anything we can do for you? Sometimes they have life changes. And we want to be able to support them because they have been supporting us. So we want to make sure that we're reaching out to those super fans. You need 100 people that love your business and will spend $1,000 a year with you to make $100,000 a year. That's it. That's all you need. Find 100 people that love your candles. Now, we do a lot of business online. We do a lot of business with our walk-in customers. But I tell you what, the majority of our super fans, we met out doing markets. They shopped with us at a market, and then at the next market, they saw us again. We had a conversation. We talked about the previous candles that they purchased. They buy from us again. They recommend us to other people. A lot of our super fans came from when we were doing markets. So having that interaction in person with someone is a fantastic and easy way to start building a loyal following. Online, you can do it, but it takes a little bit more. Your candles have to just be at that next level, which I'm sure your candles can get to. But when you are working with someone directly and selling to someone directly, and they can hear your story, they can hear your why. That why are you out here on a Saturday in these high temperatures, selling candles? Why are you doing this? When you can share that story with someone, they go on that journey with you. So doing markets is a fantastic way. It doesn't mean you have to. Some people don't want to do markets or are in a location that they just don't have markets. That's fine. You can always sell other ways, but that is an easy way for you to kind of jumpstart those super fans that I discussed. So you want to have that niche. You want to have that target audience. You want to pick a specific lane to kind of stay in. Whether you want to make candles for stay-at-home moms that are super busy. They are running around like crazy, getting the kids to practice, picking up from school, taking them to all their extracurricular activities. You can target them. You can live in South Florida and you are making candles and your niche is specifically for a nautical theme, for people that love being on boats. And so your brand is built around that. You know exactly who you're trying to sell to. You can make a theme or a niche around metaphysical. Whether you enjoy the metaphysical space, you can make a business around sports. It can be, you can build a whole brand around just sports themed candles, right? If you're selling a sports themed candle to your audience, sure, you might be turning away a really big audience as well that just wouldn't be interested in that. But those people that are interested are going to be really interested in it because you're going to be talking to them. For instance, if you make a mason jar candle that has some twine and a hang tag around it, and you are putting your scents are very home inspired, or like the gourmand scents, like say you have a mason jar candle that says apple pie, and you are doing an entire farmhouse cottage theme, that's going to fit in a farmhouse cottage theme type of gift shop or home decor location. It's not going to fit at a contemporary modern type of shop, right? But that's okay because the people that are shopping where you're wanting that candle to be are going to love that candle. So pick a niche, but also have that person in mind. Go and shop where they shop. Figure out what they're spending on candles. You might find out that the people that are buying that candle that you're wanting to make are only spending 10, 12, $15 for a candle. So you got to figure out, can you make a candle and sell it at that price and still make a profit if you're going to make this into a business? If not, you may need to switch your niche. You may need to find a different avenue to go down. If you are in a location where if your niche that you want to get into is like ultra luxury, high end, you're selling $75, $100 starting point for a candle, that's great. Do it. But who's your customer? How are you going to sell to them? The way you build a website out for that customer and the way you build out a website for that farmhouse cottage or that metaphysical customer is going to be way different. So that's why you want to have a niche, and then you want to have a target audience and really dive into who that is. So what I like to do is create a customer profile. Just think of it. Give your person a name. If you go back into week 3, I actually tell you exactly who my customers are for the new brand. I have Camille. She lives in Brooklyn. She is only shopping at her local bodegas. Her price point is going to be around $30 to $35 for a candle. She will do a lot of online shopping, but she likes to support those other up and coming places. She is anti Target, Walmart. She doesn't shop at those type of big box places, but she will shop online. So you break it all down, and then everything you do within your brand, it has that one person in mind. So when I write an email, I want to make sure that the communication that I'm having within those emails or within the social media is talking to that person. You want to make sure that you're using the tones. You want to make sure you're using the color schemes. You want to make sure you're using the right fonts that are going to connect with people. There are some websites that are like streetwear that's very bold, in your face, block lettering. That's great for streetwear. But if you are if you're going to a formal event, you wouldn't be wearing streetwear. You'd be wearing, a sequins dress or a black tie affair, right? So that's just kind of an example of how it would work within like the clothing space. All right. So in week 4, we talked about some marketing foundations. One of the things I would recommend doing is once you sign up for Shopify, again, I highly recommend Shopify over any other platform. We do talk about Shopify versus Etsy. But when you do get your Shopify store, I highly recommend just go ahead and putting up a password protected page. Even if you haven't built it out yet, totally fine. But go ahead and put that password protected page up and start collecting emails on it so that you can start promoting on your social media and letting people know it's coming. And then they can go ahead and hop onto your email list so that you can keep them informed as you go through this launch. It's going to be really critical to put in the marketing effort of taking your brand new people that are going to start following you and take them on the journey with you. We had a really successful weekend when we first started our business. It was about a $3,000 weekend, like over 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe a little bit into Monday. It was like $3,000 of online sales. It was fantastic. The people that bought from us were people that had gone on the journey for a couple months. It wasn't someone brand new that hadn't heard that we were starting a candle business and they just were eager to get their wallet out. That's not who is going to buy from you. It's going to be people that you take on the journey with you. So as soon as you have a name for your business, go ahead and get the social media handles and go ahead and just put up a cover image of what your logo. You can just create a very inexpensive or free logo on Canva, and then just go ahead and throw it out on social media. And then everything you do with your business, when you order supplies and then the supplies arrive, take a photo of that, post it, let people know my supplies arrived. I'm going to start testing, oh, this smells so good. Oh, I'm mixing these oils together. Whatever you're making, let your customers learn from you so that they know where you're going on this journey. Just showing up one day and saying, oh, hey, by the way, I started a candle business. Come support me. Here's my website. It's too impersonal, even if it's your closest friends and family, too impersonal and too like just throwing it at them. Don't do that. Let them go on the journey with you. You're not trying to sell them anything because you don't have anything to sell. You're just showing them the behind the scenes. Show a lot of your struggles as well. Show your vulnerability. Show how vulnerable you can be. As you're growing this out, show them the mistakes, the mishaps, the spills, the struggles, the late nights. Show all of that to people, because then whenever you get through those hurdles, they're really going to want to support you even more. So that's what I recommend starting off as a foundation is letting people go on that journey with you. In week 5, we discussed the different sales channels. So we discussed Shopify, we discussed Etsy, we discussed some of the wholesale, such as you getting on Fair and doing that as well. Depends on who your customer is. If you're trying to be bougie, over the top, luxury, Etsy, which is more focused on like small business, homemade, handcrafted, that might not align. I would certainly try anything out on Etsy. I don't think that it hurts to try. You might find that something that you don't think is going to work on Etsy will actually just blow up and do fantastic, right? And go viral. We talked about in that episode in week 5 about the fees associated with Etsy and also with Shopify. Some people have complained about the Etsy fees, but in reality, like you'll have to watch the video to see the breakdown because it's so minimal compared to what advertising and social media is going to cost you. Not only just in time and resources, but also like to actually run ads. Also, Shopify is fantastic. I just recommended a bit ago. You've got it. You got to have a Shopify store. It's the gold standard when it comes to e-commerce. But you also have to send people to that to buy from you. Etsy has a community of shoppers, millions that are on Etsy every single day looking for something. So you want to be that product for them. But Shopify, it's not going to have customers going to your store on their own organically when you first start. It's going to be from you sharing and directing people to that website. Now, over time, based on how you build out your website, the keywords, as it's SEO optimized, will start pulling through on Google, Bing, all the other search engines, if you do that properly. So I talk about that a little bit as well in week 5. Week 6, we talked about a high converting website and the 10 things that your website must have, from different trust badges to product descriptions. In week 6, we really honed in on all 10 of those things that we're going to have on our website. In fact, in week 6, in that episode, there is a download for you. So you can actually have a checklist in front of you. It's completely free. You can get that in the show notes of the week 6 video, this checklist of all the things that you should have on your website. So go check that out. I'm not going to run through all of those right now, but it's a great tool to have with you as you're building out your website. That will really help your conversion. So it's one thing to get people to your website, but it's a whole nother thing to actually get them to get their credit card out and complete that transaction fully. And then last week, we talked about all the marketing stuff that we can start doing right now with Local First, which is going to be your friends, your family, your coworkers, having them go on that journey with us. Collecting emails. We want to start collecting emails right now. It's going to be, when you look back in a couple of years, you're going to be like, oh, I have X hundreds or thousands of emails, and I wouldn't have got these if I wouldn't have started on day 1. You want to start today getting email addresses from people because you might switch websites, you might switch platforms, you might switch business direction. You might get shut down by Instagram or Facebook because of something wonky and the algorithm kills your online store. Or you may be doing well on Etsy, but then all of a sudden your sales drop. You want to have people's email addresses to connect with and to take wherever you go. And so make sure that you're starting to get email addresses right on day 1. Do social media with a purpose. There's going to be so many different options. You can do Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, Blue Sky, Twitter that became X. There's so many of them out there, right? In the week 7 episode, I give you my 4 content pillars. And I say to pick 2 platforms. For us, currently, we do Facebook and Instagram. That's where our customers mostly are. For our new brand, I think it's going to be more of an Instagram, possibly TikTok. So that's something that either we are going to have to learn or we are going to have to make sure someone on our team knows that additional platform in and out so that we can connect with our customer there. But only pick a couple of them. You don't spread yourself too thin trying to start with your social media. You can always pivot and you can always start posting in other places. I've seen some really, really big brands, a couple of the brands that we follow. There's a brand called Voicemail. Absolutely love them. I love their messaging. I love their mission. And they've got, a few million followers on Instagram. And I always look first on Facebook for a lot of things. And they have I think it was 4,000 or 5,000 followers. Big difference. 4,000 or 5,000 followers on Facebook and millions on Instagram. they know where their customer is. So that's where they put their energy, and that works for them just fine. So think about it that way. I'm not going to just go out and start posting on Pinterest unless I know my customer is there. But that they definitely would be there. We can only do so much, right? And we there's only so many hours in the day, and we're trying to run a business. So make sure that you're maximizing your time on just a couple platforms when you start, and give it 100%. Collaborate. Collaborations are fantastic when you're first starting out. If you're making candles, talk to a soap maker. That's a simple way of collaborating. If you go to a hair salon or a barber, that would be happy to have you make a custom candle that they can sell while they have people in their seat. That's a fantastic way of collaborating, right? They're going to feel special by you creating a special candle for them. And then they can sell it for you right there in the chair when they have someone in the chair. So that's an easy collaboration that you can do. You're going to also be able to collaborate within areas of your community. We do, and we still do. But what really helped us when we started was doing fundraisers. Doing fundraisers for an animal shelter, massive way to get that email list to be growing, because you are going to promote that you are going to give 25% of proceeds back to the, let's say, the Humane Society. And then that local Humane Society is going to take your flyer that you created, send it out to their email list, promote it on their social media. So they're going to send sales your direction, and then you're giving them a portion of those proceeds. So it's a win-win, and it's a really easy way, especially when you're starting, to get brand new eyes on your brand. It worked wonders for us. And now in 3 years, we've donated over $75,000 to organizations. And sure, that's great for all those organizations, but it's also, remember, we're running a business here, and that's also been great for us because we're making money as well, and we're starting to build up even more of those super fans that we want to operate our business with. So it is definitely a win-win. I would definitely look at doing fundraisers in your community. As far as other things that you can do as far as marketing right now on your website, make sure you're telling a story. I talked about those 10 things on your website, but one of those that is really important is to tell your story. Have a photo of yourself, of your family, of your why. Why are you doing this business? And then lastly, you can also look at starting to do some press. So when we first started, we emailed all the news stations. We also emailed the newspaper, the magazines, the radio, everything. And say, hey, this is what we're doing for a brand new candle business. And if you position it correctly, and what we did is we did it as a press release. And in fact, if you're inside of the inner circle, I have a whole workshop on how we do press releases. The same exact format got us into Oprah Daily, Parade Magazine, Yahoo News, all of those. And that's from us writing a press release that's intriguing enough for someone to want to do an article about you. So one easy way of doing that is by creating a themed candle around an activity in your town or your city. Here in Holland, Michigan, we have what's called tulip time every single May for 2 weeks. The tulips are grown. They come in from the actual Holland, the Netherlands, come here to Holland, Michigan. They're planted and they grow. And in 2 weeks in May is peak time. Hundreds of thousands of visitors come to our small town or small city and visit. We created a tulip themed candle, and 2 weeks prior to the festival, emailed all these news stations, the radio, the newspaper. We landed front page on the newspaper with this product. It was small businesses cashing in on tulip time type of article, right? Or looking forward to a busy tulip time season, right? So that was kind of what the headline was like. And then the news literally came into our house, into our room that we were making candles in, which was our bedroom that we had turned into our candle making studio in the house, and interviewed us right there. Like we didn't have stores. We just had our online store. So you don't need to have a brick and mortar store to get recognized or looked at by the media. So don't think that you do. And then in Oprah Daily, we sent a press release over to them and other magazines, basically talking about how we do give back around a certain cause. And they wanted to run an article on that. So those are some ways. It's completely free to do all of that. Again, inside of the inner circle, you can go and watch. We have a workshop there for you as well. This has been exciting 7 weeks so far. Now let's talk about a couple of things that kind of has held us back. We ordered custom vessels. We ordered perfume bottles. We're going to get into the perfume space with this new brand as well. We have custom packaging coming. So a couple of the hiccups, the samples production, they are all coming over from China. Um, Took probably 2 weeks longer than we hoped from when we said, yes, create a sample. Here's the template. We thought we were going to get that they were going to have a sample and show us images of that within like a week to 7 days. And it's taken about 2 weeks. The samples are made. They look fantastic and they are being mailed to us now. So next week, we will have those to show you. We'll have the vessel. We will have the perfume bottle. We will have a 2-box for the candle vessel. And then we're going to have a box for the perfumes as well. Now, here's another hiccup from the images that they sent to us. And they acknowledged this when they sent it. And they said, hey, the perfume box color isn't quite right. So it looks like it's a little darker in the images, at least it's a little darker and it looks just fine. But if you're going to compare it next to the candle box and it's supposed to be the same Pantone color, they're going to be different. So seeing these in person, I'll know that they said they reassured us that they'll be totally fine when they run the full production. So I want to speed this up and move quickly. So I said, fine, send me the stuff. We're going to look at the quality. We're going to make sure everything is right as far as the safety aspect goes. And then we'll go ahead and order. And then, of course, they'll have to make sure that the coloring is right or we just wouldn't accept that order. So that stuff is all on its way here. Super excited to share that with you all as it comes. Don't hesitate to, again, follow the journey at candlebusinesspro.com. I am doing a weekly update there as well as on the YouTube channel and our podcast that you can find on any of your podcast players. In fact, if you are enjoying this, I would love it if you wouldn't mind giving us a rating and review on Spotify. You can do that as well as on Apple Podcasts. That would help us out tremendously and allow us just to keep on doing these episodes. Shout out again to Tuato for sponsoring this series. We have relied on Tuato and their products immensely throughout our business. And we highly recommend if you're needing a wax melter, if you need a thermal printer, you may not even know that they made those. They do. And you can use that link in the show notes below for an additional discount at checkout. Again, it is not an affiliate link. It is just a link that they are providing for you. If you have any questions, I would love for you to drop them in the comments below. Until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day and enjoy your week.